All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Onward VR Master League. Oh, so glad you guys could come join me for this awesome game we're going to have today. We are going to be playing SMC Tactical versus BossFight in this amazing challenge match. I am your caster today, Noman. Thank you for joining me on my first ever solo cast. Hopefully we'll have some fun and not leave any overlays up. That's the dream. I'm just waiting on a lobby password from our two teams, but in the meantime I will go through the bans for today. So on the home side, SMC Tactical has decided to ban Downfall, which is an interesting choice. Would have thought a little long range map wouldn't hurt anybody, but no Downfall this time. And BossFight has chosen to ban Suburbia. So those are the two maps that we're gonna not be seeing today, but I'm hoping the excitement we'll see on the other 5 will be more than enough to keep you guys entertained. I think we're just waiting on lobby information from the teams, and I believe those have just come in. Yes, so let's jump in there real quick and we'll get to the action as soon as we can. Again, thank you guys for joining me on this wonderful Saturday morning for what I think is going to be a pretty great game. I'm excited to see this matchup. There was a challenge match earlier in the season that these two teams had played. I believe SMC had taken that series 10-5. So this is a rematch between the two teams. I think they've been looking forward to it. We've all been looking forward to it. One of the reasons I'm casting this is because they had reached out and there was a lot of interest in the league, so hopefully we'll bring you some great action. And I'm looking forward to getting this all set up for you guys. So in the meantime, our first map pick is going to be Cargo. And while the teams get set up and get into their positions and get their strats ready, let's take a look at what Cargo has to offer. All right, now that we've got a nice view of the map we're going to be looking at, we're just waiting on the teams to ready up right now, and I think we'll be starting relatively soon. In the meantime, I believe we can go through the roster of the two teams, just so we know who we're talking about today, who is going to be playing in this match, and what we're going to see. I think these teams are getting ready. So, on the SMC Tactical side, we've got The Sickness DB, Brass to Mouth, Captain Soda, Edna Jordan, Landon Jordan, Mr. Beefy, and Pone Cake. And on the BossFight side, we've got Scooby-Doo, LeGill, Radar Head, Scorpio, Hoochie, Operator, Sharku, and Weather Balloon. Tons of great players. Played a lot with them in competitive lobbies. We've played in a couple of games as well, and yeah, two very strong teams. I'm looking forward to seeing what they come up with here. I think we're going to be having some pretty close matches. I'm interested to know what you guys think. Is it going to be a boss fight game, or is it going to be an SMC game? You think SMC can keep it up, take the second challenge of the series? Or do you think there's going to be a one-to-one series and we'll have to play a third one before the season's over? I'm curious what you guys think about that. We are getting pretty close to starting around. I think we're just waiting for one more member of BossFight to show up. And then we'll be kicking off this game very, very soon. Pretty excited to see what happens here in terms of loadout utilization, the types of tactics that these two teams use. Both of them are capable of slow and fast offenses and defenses, and we see a lot of differences depending on the team they play against. So it's going to be really interesting to see how they tackle this particular matchup. For those of you wondering, we are playing on the 1.4 Onward build, 1.42 I believe. So we do have performance fixes in place, but also a ton of new loadouts and gear that were not available just a couple of weeks ago in these league matches. And we're going to be seeing things like C4 utilization, possibly some drones coming out, although that was in an earlier update, but been seeing a lot more utilization of that in matches. There's attachments for pistols that I think we'll see, maybe even some shield usage with pistols. We'll see what that looks like. But I think we'll be looking at some pretty interesting loadouts here, and I'm curious to see what happens. All right, and I believe the last person has shown up for boss fight, so the round is going to be getting underway here. And let's take a look at the objective. So we've got the northernmost objective here on cargo, one of the more difficult to attack. Clearly you have to go across the entire map as Marsoc, spawning all the way on that south side and trying to make your way up through that kill box area that is the center, and then try to get up into a position to cap. However, Marsoc is pretty favored when it gets to this position, as there's a lot of angles to attack this objective from here, and a lot of different spots that you can cap from. You can cap from inside that box, you can cap on the outside here. There's a lot of different ways to get at this, and I'm curious to see how these teams jump into this action and tackle this first objective. As a note, the objectives should be rotating correctly now. In the 1.3 patch, we were having some issues with objectives repeating, but I believe as of this update, we now cycle objectives properly, so we shouldn't be seeing any repeats other than the mirrored objectives that you'll see when offense and defense switch. And for those of you just joining us, we're about to jump into the first round of map 1 in this match, challenge match I should say, between SMC Tactical and BossFight. SMC, very strong North America's team, very high up in the standings, which we'll hopefully get a chance to take a look at in between rounds at some point. And BossFight, I believe they're actually right next to each other in standings. So this is going to be a very close matchup. I'm expecting to see a lot of really good action. And I'm excited all you came out here to join me and mess around on this amazing Saturday morning on VR Master League. Just as a reminder, we'll be having a few games actually casted today. I believe there are 2 matches in the evening time that you should definitely tune in for, and I'm hoping that you'll join me for that, because I will be co-casting 2 of them. So if you enjoy what you see here, or in general you enjoy Onward, I very much expect to see you guys on those casts as well. And as I say that, we jump into round 1 of map 1, SMC Tactical versus BossFight. Let's do this indeed. So we're going to be seeing BossFight on the defense, SMC Tactical on the offense. Let's see what happens here. Okay, we've got a little bit of a laid-back defense. Scooby-Doo pushing up a little bit, tossing a smoke up. We got a frag coming out, or a smoke coming out towards Scorpio on that western side, but SMC Tactical also taking their time. Landon Jordan finding a quick pick on Scorpio in that dark corridor. Is able to get him very quickly. SMC right now looking to take it kind of slow, make their way through, get a few picks, and I think BossFight is ready for that. And we're going to see a heavy eastern push by SMC. And there's not a whole lot of defenders in that area to watch it. I think Weather Balloon is trying to rotate. LeGill is in a position that seems a little bit too passive, but maybe he can get these picks on Landon and Beefy as they come through. Some shots coming out, though they do not land. And Landon peeking, getting picked up by LeGill in that passive spot, proving me wrong once again. Mr. Beefy taking some shots out to try to get the refrag, but they do not land. Meanwhile, we've got Sickness pushed up past Weather Balloon here. Actually did not even see Weather Balloon. Sickness coming in towards the objective. We might see a cap here. LeGill's not paying attention at all. Oh, Scooby. Captain Soda picks up Hoochie, the only person able to defend, and SMC Tactical gets the cap on the first round of this match. Holy cow. Wow. I am in shock, you guys. That was an impressive push by Sickness to get into that objective area through smoke, through cover, sneaking by Weather Balloon, able to pick him off quickly, and then with a little bit of help from Captain Soda picking off the only defender relatively close to the objective, Sickness is able to put in that code and get the cap on the first round. And I gotta say, for BossFight, that's gotta be a little bit demoralizing. On the first round of the first map, it's always tough to have the objective taken like that. And I'm curious to see what happens on the offensive side now. I wonder if that'll light a fire under them, as it were. As we can see, Sickness, Landon, and Soda picking up 3 kills there. Meanwhile, LeGill and Scooby sharing 1 and 2 respectively. So not everybody on the team got wiped. There were enough people up to be defending the objective, but LeGill's position and Scooby's position turned out to be a little too both passive and aggressive, depending on the position you're talking about, or the player you're talking about. And Sickness was able to get in there really quickly, get an easy pick in the smoke, and get that objective cap. Very, very well done by SMC there. And I think we'll be jumping into the second round here, and as I say that, that is exactly what we're going to be doing. We're going to be seeing mirrored objectives, just like I had mentioned earlier. And now we are in round 2 of map 1. SMC Tactical up 2 after a quick cap in that first round. Now if they can hold their defense, this map can slip away from BossFight very, very quickly. So let's see how they decide to attack this. SMC taking up a very aggressive defense. Sickness coming through into the spawn of BossFight. Looking to get a quick, easy pick. A frag coming out from the SMC side. Almost catches Sickness on a position. Sickness rushes Gucci in that box. Scooby picking up Sickness, and Captain Soda down on that center left. Captain Soda is still revivable for his team. And as I say that, Scooby finishes him off. LeGill, however, picking up Pone Cake in that center box area as well. And we're in a 4v2 boss fight. Not going down without a fight.
3 down, 3 enemies down, 3 enemies down.
Now we're going to be seeing that equipment utilization. As you can see, Weather Balloon wielding the shield and the, I believe that's the pistol, I'm not sure. Landon Jordan picking up Scooby. A little bit too far out in the open for that position. Weather Balloon going to try and come out of this tunnel and see if he can get a quick pick on Landon. But we're in a 3v2 now with BossFight down 2 points after losing to a cap on that round. Weather Balloon taking his time, Making a little bit of noise. Landon Jordan might be hearing that. Meanwhile, over here on the seaside, Scorpio and Legill taking their time moving up. Mr. Beefy sitting quiet, watching the cross. Might be able to catch them out.
There's one plug left.
Scorpio taking his time, crawling through the map, trying to get those easy picks, but Beefy's not going to give it to him. Beefy's going to sit and he's going to wait. Legill rotates out towards the center, trying to spread out this offense a little bit. Always a good idea not to clump up your offense. Legill taking some shots out towards Beefy, but Beefy's a little bit too recessed in that doorway to be caught. And it looks like Legill's throwing out some extra shots. Scorpio picking up Landon on that cross, giving Weather Balloon a very easy entrance toward the objective. Mr. Beefy by himself now. Not sure if he knows that, but he might catch Weather Balloon out here. Scorpio creeping up, Weather Balloon crossing. Mr. Beefy takes the shots. Weather Balloon did not notice him in that doorway, it seems, and Weather Balloon is down. Scorpio, meanwhile, crawling up. Beefy can tell. He can tell Scorpio is coming up and decides to peek him and get him. Legill, however, moving up. I think he may have been looking for a cap there, but wasn't sure where the objective was. Mr. Beefy coming in. Try to get the pick. Shots do land on Legill.
Let me reload.
Legill pops out and grabs Beefy for the round. BossFight take round 2. It's 2-1. All right. Quick answer from BossFight there. You're not gonna just cap on us and get away with it, is what they say. A great performance there from Mr. Beefy. Really well played. Very patient, waiting out all of the opponents, making sure they make the mistakes first. But it wasn't quite enough to get them the win, as Legill is able to peek a corner a little bit faster, get the pick, and secure that round for BossFight. And we'll be going into a defensive round for BossFight as well, so they have a chance to equalize the maps. And I think we're going to have a pretty interesting round on our hands, you guys. The objective has moved, so let's take a look while the team's set up at what objective we do have. So now we're going to be attacking the southeast objective. This one is a very challenging objective, both for defenders and offenders. Defenders have to cross this very wide open lane underneath the pipes on the east side, utilizing smokes and quick movements is the best way to get across this, but it's an easy way to get caught out. The offense has a similar problem in that they have to attack through that lane, and sometimes the offense wins, sometimes the defense wins, and we'll see exactly which one that's going to be as we jump into round 3, map 1, SMC versus BossFight.
Smoke, yeah?
Okay.
Yeah, thanks.
Early defensive smokes coming out to make that cross.
I'm in the middle of a match. Do you mind if I call you back in like 6 minutes?
Member of BossFight is on the phone while playing. I'm seeing some pre-firing shots coming out on that right side. Mr. Beefy and Ponecake both trying to deny the cross. None of those shots are landing just yet. Legill is able to make it across. Sickness, however, already inside the spawn. My goodness, picking up Scooby-Doo. Scorpio watching for that. Watching that cross, does catch Sickness. Captain Soda catches Scorpio as he looks away. And now Captain Soda's in the back of their spawn. Captain Soda pre-firing a position that's pretty common. Landon, however, picking up Gucci in that middle area. Captain Soda picks up Legill very quickly. Weather Balloon for the refrag in the spawn. And we're in a 3v1. So quick. So quick. Weather Balloon looking to rotate, but a little bit too aggressive. Caught out by Ponecake from the west side, and SMC take that round. Wow. Very quick round. Very, very quick round there by SMC. Not letting the BossFight defense get settled in. Saw a pretty aggressive push there from, I believe that was Sickness and Captain Soda rushing in very early, getting some early picks on the defense, making them panic, forcing them out of position, and giving them that round. Quite an impressive play by them. And we'll be jumping into the 5th round. Well, actually, I believe it's the 4th round now, I'm sorry, here shortly. But we will be seeing SMC defending that same objective. Curious to see if BossFight is going to be taking the same aggressive approach that SMC had taken, and whether or not SMC is going to allow them to do so. Last defensive round we saw, they had pushed up well past the middle, despite having to defend an objective, but it did work out for them in that particular play, and I'm wondering if they'll use some similar tactic here as well to try to close out this round against BossFight here on map 1. Crazy stuff. So far the MVP players, Scooby-Doo on the BossFight side picking up 4 kills. McGill picking up 3 as well for his team. A little bit more balanced on the SMC side. Sickness, Landon, and Captain Soda all sharing 3 kills. And Beefy and Pone Cake with 2 and 1 respectively. So not too bad. Pretty balanced so far as we jump into this next round, which is round 4 of map 1. And we're going to be seeing that same objective. We'll see what the defense looks like on the SMC tactical side. Smoke coming out from Sickness, but a little bit short. Second one a little bit too long. Let's see what happens here as we get into round 4. Pretty aggressive defensive push already. Some shots coming out on that right side. Hoochie managing to pick up Beefy on the west very quickly. Landon, meanwhile, picks up Scooby on that east side as he pushes up. Grenades coming out on both sides pretty heavily. Captain Soda in danger, but able to get out of that frag very quickly. Hoochie pushing up. Captain Soda does hear him, but Hoochie wins the trade and is just down. Captain Soda is out entirely. Ponecake is coming to clean up that kill. And clean it up he does, so the callouts are no longer coming out. We're down into a 3v3. Landon, Jordan, and Sickness playing tight defense on this east side. So far, not a lot of movement from the BossFight side. It seems like there was 2 very aggressive players and 3 relatively slow players. Not sure if that's intended or not, but they did get their trades. Tossing a frag out a little too high and off target there. McGill throwing out a smoke, trying to cover his cross. Landon, though, managing to pick McGill up through the boxes, through the doorway, all the way in the spawn. What a shot that was to make. Scorpio, meanwhile, headshot on Ponecake as he comes through the center very aggressively, and we're into a 2v2. Landon watching these center boxes very, very carefully. And Sickness looking for that cross as well. Meanwhile, Weather Balloon might have the advantage here as he's coming through the tunnel on that western side. Throwing out a smoke, however, Scorpio picks up Landon at the boxes from the middle, and we're into a 2v1. BossFight up 1 player. Sickness, the last one on the objective. It's in kind of a dangerous position here. If Scorpio's able to slowly peek his way around the boxes, as he's been doing a lot this particular game, he could pick up Sickness in that position. And Sickness, as if hearing me, rotates out a little bit out of danger, but now walking into Weather Balloon's line of sight. Marsok's got plenty of time here. 3 minutes and a little bit of change to try to get something going. A cap here is exactly what they would need. And if there's a way for one of them to distract and one of them to be able to make it to the objective, if Sickness isn't aware of how many people there are, this could be a cap opportunity. Weather Balloon and Sickness Playing a little game of cat and mouse here. Sickness should be aware the weather balloon's somewhere near him, but sometimes that beeping from the objective can mask sounds in the environment and make it a little bit more difficult. Weather balloon peeking that common dark area in the south of the map. Looking to see if somebody's there. No shots are baited out just yet. Meanwhile, seeing Scorpio rotate pretty heavily around to the other side. He can sneak by Sickness when he engages with Weather Balloon. We could see that sneaky cap here, but Sickness is well trained on that doorway. Scorpio doesn't have a chance, but he looks away. He looks away at the exact moment Scorpio comes through that doorway. Scorpio able to pick that round up for BossFight, and we're gonna go to the 5th round, ladies and gentlemen. Great play by Scorpio there. Although I will say, that's got to be some definite timing luck there for Scorpio, as well as Sickness was trained on that doorway for a good chunk before Scorpio made it, and looks away just at the exact moment that Scorpio was able to peek and take a look around and give that round to BossFight. We're in quite the match here, ladies and gentlemen. Very exciting stuff. It looked like it was going to be skewed towards the SMC side for a little bit there. We saw them come out pretty aggressive with that quick cap on round 1 of that far north objective. But BossFight able to bring it back a little bit, take the rounds as they need them, and stay in this fight. And now they've got a defensive round that they can definitely try to pull off. The objective we're going to be seeing now is the center south objective, one of the fastest capped objectives, I believe, in Onward currently, although you can correct me if I am wrong. And we are jumping in now to round 5, map 1, SMC Tactical up 1 round on BossFight, 3-2.
Boys, you need to stay close on this one.
Cap doesn't matter, just don't lose.
Yep.
Cap or not, we lose.
Cap or not, we lose. That is exactly right. So we're going to be playing a pretty tight defense on this objective. But as they say that, they push up very heavily. C4 coming out on Scooby's side. Hoochie picks up Sickness as he pushes aggressively through that corridor. Meanwhile, shots coming out on this right side to LaGill do not land. Beefy laying some pre-fire down. Meanwhile, a great grenade from Pancake, downing Scooby-Doo in the container. What a bounce on that grenade. Well placed, Hoochie. Throwing a frag out. Mr. Beefy picking up Hoochie as he pushes up aggressively on that right side. Scorpio managing to get the revive, and all 5 members of BossFight are still up. Another great frag coming out towards Scooby, finishing him off. That is a cursed canister, you guys. Do not go in there. That's where all the grenades go. And we're down to a 4v4. Mr. Beefy picking up LaGill on that right side. Mr. Beefy again with Weather Balloon on the pick. We're in 4v2. Scorpio's by himself, crossing. Captain Soda catches him from the middle, and we're down to a 4v1. We could see a cap, but Pancake picks up Hoochie, and the round and map go to SMC Tactical. What a quick played round that was. So much action. Ooh, a little bit difficult to follow there, but I think we got most of it. Landon Jordan, the MVP for SMC that round with 6 kills. And they're able to go up 4-2 in this first map. All right. And we'll be jumping into our second map here shortly. And the second map is going to be, drum roll please, Quarantine. Let's see what Quarantine has to offer these teams as they get ready for this second map on this series between BossFight and SMC. All right. Now we're gonna get into the action here on Quarantine 1 pretty soon. Quarantine, a great map for these two teams to duke it out. In this caster's opinion, one of the most balanced maps in this match. Lots of great high peaks to make your Overwatch effective from, as well as a lot of little sneaky little valleys, craters, and small nooks and crannies for people to hide in. Definitely a great mix of close quarters combat and long range sniping. I'm excited to see what these two teams bring to this map as we get into map 2. After SMC takes that first round of cargo 4-2. The great performance. We're going to be seeing the West Garage objective for this first objective. The Defenders SMC Tactical are going to be trying to lock this down, and BossFight's going to be trying to come back in this second map and get themselves on the board. If they lose this one, they lose the series, and SMC would take this challenge twice in a row. If you're BossFight, you definitely don't want that. And I think we'll be diving in here pretty quickly. In the meantime, I want to thank everybody for coming to hang out with me on this lovely Saturday morning again for this great battle. And I'm excited to be bringing you all this action on Onward VRML Twitch. Hope you'll be joining us for the rest of the casts that we're going to be having today. We got a lot of great matchups, a lot of great games being played. Not all of them able to be cast, unfortunately, but lots of great action if you're looking for it. And I'm glad that you chose to hang out with me in this amazing game so far between SMC and BossFight. Alright, we do have all teams readied up. Believe we should be ready to start the round pretty soon. Be surprised if we don't. In the meantime, I'd also like to say that if you are interested in becoming a caster or a co-caster or a cameraman, as it were, whatever your desires are, please let the League casters know in the Onward Discord. And as an aside to that, join the Onward Discord. Great place for all of the players and fans of the game, fans of the Twitch to hang out, chat, talk about the games, talk about what's coming up in the week for these matchups. We're getting into the postseason here soon on the Onward League, and there's going to be lots of excitement happening as a result of that, so come hang out with us there. And if you want to participate in any way, we are definitely always looking for more people to be active, both in the streaming and casting areas, as well as just engagement in the community. So come hang out with us over there on the Onward Discord. Looks like taking a little bit more time to plan our maps on both sides. I think we'll be jumping into the action here pretty soon. Meantime, as a quick recap, these are the scores of the first map so far. And as I say that, we are jumping into the action now, finally. Of course, they wait for me to do a transition into round 1, map 2. BossFight on the offense, SMC defending.
Oh, you can't.
This great challenge match so far. Alright, we're going to be seeing the quick spawn from the offense. They're going to be coming up over this rooftop hill, looking to get quick picks. Captain Soda almost out of position there as Scorpio takes some shots toward him. Captain Soda rushing this rooftop side, and there's a trade coming out. Both members out. We're down to a 4v4 very quickly as Captain Soda and LeGil trade shots on that northern side. Not sure if a call out went out for spawns, but the bullets should be enough to let the other teams know.
Rooftop crater, rooftop courtyard.
Mr. Beefy being very aggressive here as well. Weather Balloon looking to catch him out.
That's because you're on a heavy flow.
See if he's able to pick him up in this position. Weather Balloon peeking does manage to catch Beefy as he comes through. And we're down to a 4v3 SMC Tactical. Already down 2 people. Both very aggressive pushes. Sure what their thinking was there, especially when their team was not in a position to get those refrags. Scorpio is found in this little corridor, but shots on him from Landon, I believe, do not land. Scorpio's going to be taking his time, peeking around all these corners. Callouts coming out that one member of SMC is making the gas station push. Scooby, meanwhile, on this rooftop looking for any picks or mistakes that SMC is going to make.
One enemy confirmed gas station. Anyone else know
So
where
far,
someone is?
not yet on their side. Okay, we're seeing some pretty slow moves on the southwest side from Scorpio and Weather Balloon. Landon Jordan giving up his position in the center burning. Scooby-Doo able to pick up Sickness from the roof, however, with a beautiful headshot, bringing SMC down to just 2 players remaining. Both now looking to rotate closer towards the objective. Scooby is watching that, or he was watching that corridor, however now he's looking to retreat and move up. BossFight throwing down those smokes. Looking like they just want to cross. The smokes are not on the objective side unless that's where they think the objective is, in which case those smokes will have been wasted. Landon, however, says return to sender. Don't want your smokes here. Getting rid of that, throwing back towards the rooftop courtyard, but it does give his position away as Weather Balloon's able to call him out. And Scooby and Hoochie here making another smoked approach. Scooby crossing the street very quickly. He's in the smoke, looking to see if he can get a pick on Landon. Landon's watching that backside rubble. Hoochie, however, might be able to catch him as he comes over, and he does, in fact.
One down.
Homecake's the only one left. Scorpio creeping around on that west side. Might be able to get him as he comes around. Homecake rotating around, looking, does not catch Scorpio on the cross. Homecake not even looking in this position. Scorpio lets Weather Balloon get killed. He definitely saw Homecake crossing there. Not sure what his thoughts was, but Homecake able to rotate around and pick up Scorpio as well. And we're into a 2v1. Holy cow. Not sure what happened there. A little bit of tunnel vision there, I think. Okay, now positioned behind this green car looking for the cross from BossFight. Taking a few early shots out towards the objective, but not finding anything in the smoke. Homecake moving back a little bit. Try to get himself a little bit more real estate. He's going to have to be careful, though. There's definitely the possibility of a sneaky cap here. You can cap from the other side of the wall, and he's got to be able to rotate. He should be able to catch Scooby here, but the trade comes out, and the last remaining member, Hoochie, is able to win that round for BossFight simply by staying alive. Great round by both teams. Homecake coming through for SMC with 3 kills, but BossFight able to pick it up at the end as Homecake rotates to make sure there's no cap, and is able to trade with a member of BossFight before he goes down, and the round goes to BossFight on this second map of the series, and BossFight versus SMC. And there was a lot of really great utility usage. That's the kind of stuff that we don't talk about enough. We don't talk about the quality of the strategy, but using those smokes, moving up through cover, you know, watching your teammates as they cross is very important. It's one of those big aspects of teamwork that can be easily overlooked. You know, a lot of this game is focused around the shooting and the kills, but sometimes great equipment utilization can really turn around for you. And I think that's what we saw here. That was a really good push by BossFight, able to pick up some quick clears, although a little bit surprising that their western push was shut down so effectively by Ponecake there. Seemingly, who was that? Scorpio, I believe, was not able to pick up Ponecake on the rotation as Ponecake killed one of his teammates that was crossing behind him. Not exactly sure what the thinking there was. But in the meantime, let's take a look at the scores from map 1. 4-2 win for SMC on that map. And then we are going to see BossFight go up 1 point on Quarantine. And we should be getting into the next round here pretty soon. All right, and I do have an update for those of you who were not watching the solo casts solo streams by the players in the match. The Blaze and Lemon Squad match has just checked in with me, and they are the first 2 maps went to Blaze. So congratulations to Blaze on winning that map. Those 2 maps and the series. And unfortunately, I don't have the scores in front of me, but match did turn out to be very good as far as I understand it. And we're looking forward to a whole lot of good matches. This matchup especially has been very heated so far. SMC coming out very aggressive, getting a lot of quick, easy picks, picking up that cap first in cargo and getting them that first round win, securing the map for them as well. As we jump into this second round of map 2, BossFight now on the defense of this Western Garage objective. SMC looking to get themselves on the board for this second map. We're going to be seeing a different spawn from them this time. They're going to be on the south side, approaching from this south plane wing. One of the more dangerous approaches for this objective. And we'll see how they decide to attack it. It looks like we're going to be seeing 4 players coming up through the middle street. Meanwhile, Captain Soda watching that flank.
We're gonna have to smoke and get burning.
Talking about their strategies for trying to cross. Looking to get any picks on BossFight, but BossFight's not giving up too many of their positions, although they did have 2 members go all the way up on rooftop. Now Scooby taking some shots over from ambulance as a result. He's getting low. Hoochie now alerted to the position of SMC, and Hoochie able to pick up Sickness very, very nicely as he tried to cross in front of that ambulance. Gotta wait for those smokes to develop. Shots coming out from rooftop towards SMC's positions, but none found any purchase yet. A great frag coming out from Beefy. Doesn't find anybody, however, on that street. Lots of really good frags coming out from both sides. Captain Soda taking one out towards the garage. However, nobody's there. Beefy picking up Hoochie on the street as he peeks around that same ambulance objective. And we're going to see Captain Soda being able to make it through to this gas station side pretty much unharmed. Mr. Beefy now rotating around to try to get that same angle as Weather Balloon watches from center burning. LeGill and Captain Soda trade. Captain Soda still revivable, however, looks like we're going to be seeing Scorpio get the pickup on that confirm, and we're down to a 3v3. Beefy and Landon pushing up into this gas station area, and Scorpio able to pick up Beefy. Meanwhile, Weather Balloon picks up Poke as he comes through. Landon, though, gets the refrag on Scorpio in the gas station, and we're into a 2v1 boss fight. 2 members left. And Landon just realizing his entire team is down. It's all up to him. If he's able to pick up Weather Balloon here, however, the rotation from Scooby could come a little bit too late. And he could get the cap if he knows how many people are down. Weather Balloon taking some shots out towards Landon's position. Landon, however, not caught out. Lost him there for a second. Landon now looking to see if he can get this pick. Weather balloon peeking over the wall. Not able to see each other. Landon's able to escape that little kill box very effectively. He's got 3 minutes left. Shots coming out from Weather Balloon, a grenade coming out towards that position. Still thinking he's over by that gas station side, but he was able to rotate out with Weather Balloon not able to catch his rotation apparently. Weather Balloon now peeking this ambulance side. Not able to see anything just yet. And we're gonna see a wayward, I believe that's a wayward frag from Landon. A little bit out of position. Weather Balloon's gonna be able to see where that smoke came from. As Landon looks to get himself out of that position. Weather Balloon taking shots on Landon as he rotates out, but they don't land. And Landon's able to rotate again. He's got 2 minutes left. It's definitely still possible for him to make some progress here, but he needs to find the right angle and just catch the timing just right on Weather Balloon in that center burning, but Scooby able to pick him up from the objective, taking down Landon, giving BossFight that second round in map 2. Great plays by both teams there. I think SMC took a little bit too long to develop their offense. I think they waited for those picks from the ambulance, waited to try to get the rooftop down, and unfortunately they were punished for it. I was surprised to see them take such a slow, methodical approach to that objective. But BossFight, definitely not one to be trifled with. Scooby with 3 kills, currently leading his team. Ponecake, meanwhile, leading SMC 3 kills as well. And it looks like we may have had a drop from one of the teams. Let's head to the pre-round matchup as we figure out. I think there might be some technical issues on that side, so wait to see what happens with the teams. The objective, however, has moved. And we are going to be seeing the center glass objective here in this lovely quarantine map. Personally, one of my favorite objectives to attack and defend. Lots of great avenues for attack for the offenders. I think this is a heavily Marsoc favored objective. And lots of great sight lines for the defenders as well. Spawning on this east side and lots of little nooks and crannies. It's always interesting to see which people take up which positions and whether or not they go for a long range approach or if they try to watch tight corridors as offense comes through this area. It's always interesting to see. This is one of the ones that definitely warrants a ton of equipment usage, and I think we'll be seeing that here pretty soon once both teams are ready to go. And if you're just tuning in, take a quick look at the scoreboard. And I believe I have to assign a point to a boss fight there. The first map was Cargo. SMC able to take Cargo pretty handily from BossFight with a quick cap on the first round, and then picking up some pretty aggressive defensive rounds to take that map in this series. And we are now well into Quarantine 1. BossFight taking the first 2 rounds with some very, very strong offense and defensive plays. I think Quarantine's one of their strongest maps. Definitely from the times that I have played them on it. They're very challenging to remove from their positions. They have very strong positions at that. So I think it's not a surprise here that SMC is struggling to get a foothold. But I would not count them out just yet. There's definitely some tricks up SMC's sleeve when it comes to their league play, and I don't think we've seen the entire breadth of their offense just yet. So I am excited to see how they're able to handle this offensive round against BossFight in map 2. Meanwhile, I'd like to thank, I think, Lonely Viper in the chat there. Thank you for the bits. Thanks, everybody, for subscribing and cheering bits for the cast. All of that stuff is really, really great for the community and the casters. It all goes towards helping us make these casts better as often as possible. And we appreciate you guys doing that and hanging out with us on this lovely Saturday morning. Or if you're in the UK, I believe it's a Saturday night. But time zones are hard, so I do not know if that's the actual case. Somebody correct me. Chat can correct me. And I think we are still waiting for one member of BossFight to return. Not sure if we're taking a full timeout here or not, as the teams are afforded 2 timeouts in each game. I have not yet been notified of one, but we will see if we are jumping into the action pretty soon as those members are back in. And yes, in fact, they are back. And we're going to be seeing round 3, map 2, SMC Tactical versus BossFight.
Yep. I don't know what
Landon
I'm
or courtyard? What's going on here?
Yeah,
Are you going to courtyard?
I'm gonna go front rooftop
Who's going front?
All right, we're going to be seeing the northern, the western spawn for BossFight. And we're going to see them try to rotate out towards rooftop initially, which is a pretty common...
I'm gonna go with you. I'm gonna go with you.
Pretty common approach to this. We're going to be seeing some action pretty quickly here as Captain Soda and Landon Jordan aggressively trying to take rooftop. Captain Soda picks up Scooby. Lagill picks him up, and then a refrag by Landon, but Hoochie picks him off from a distance, and just like that, we're into a 3v3 as all of the members who tried to take rooftop are no longer with us. Ponecake now moving up very aggressively into this burning courtyard objective, burning courtyard area, looking to catch the offense unawares from behind. However, there is only one offender on that south side, and it is Scorpio. He's looking like he's trying to watch that south cross. Ponecake, meanwhile, rotating out, hoping to get a better angle. Weather Balloon double tapping the members of SMC that were downed.
We have like coordinates here.
Calling out tons of equipment down. He throws a frag out all the way towards Mr. Beefy and catches him. What an amazing roll on that grenade. Holy moly. Wow. A second grenade coming out, not quite as fortuitous as the first, but Mr. Beefy, what luck that must be. And a great throw from Weather Balloon up on that rooftop. A smoke coming out now to cover that cross. The two members of SMC not in a position to revive their teammate, both taking up positions in this center burning courtyard, which is a little bit unique, I would say, for this defense. Hoochie downing and then finishing off Sickness as he tries to cross out into the street. Weather Balloon still tossing equipment, finishing Beefy off with that second grenade. Oh my goodness. Ponecake managing to catch Hoochie as he rotates around to the west side of that rooftop building, and now we're into a 1v2 again. I feel like I'm saying that a lot these days. BossFight still have 2 members up. Weather Balloon approaching from this western side. Ponecake now rotating back to the objective, realizing there is nobody on it. Weather Balloon making the call-outs to his teammate, letting him know that there are plenty of bodies down. Ponecake, taking up a very defensive position. Obviously, you don't want to have the objective captured out from under you. And so he is defending against that exact eventuality as we see Scorpio rotating around on that south side. Weather Balloon, however, able to pick him up as he gets a little too aggressive on his defense. And the third round goes to BossFight as well. Wow, those grenades. What about those grenades? A perfect transition to mention that if you guys see amazing plays like that, and especially if I happen to capture them, please do make sure you clip those. They are great for highlight reels. They are great for, you know, reviewing later. The teams love seeing them, so please be active in the chat with those when you can. But my goodness, two fantastic grenades. One for a down, one for a kill. Mr. Beefy, a little bit unlucky today. I think that might have been, I think that was the second in this series so far that caught him out. But I might be mistaken. So SMC not able to put up any points on the board, although they're doing pretty okay in terms of kills. Pwnecake and Captain Soda leaving their team with 4 and 3. On the BossFight side, Weather Balloon and Hoochie both sharing 4 kills. Scooby and Legill with 3 and 2 respectively. Not too bad, pretty even. Pretty even as we get into this 4th round here very soon. And just as I say it, it shall be so. Round 4, map 2, BossFight versus SMC. BossFight now on the defense, looking to close this map out, take this series to a 1-1, and take us to the 3rd deciding map as a result. Can they do it? Some smokes coming out for Southern Cross, it looks like, on the BossFight side, which would be very helpful as SMC is spawning on this far north, I'm sorry, far west. I don't know where my directions are. And 3 members are looking to get those early picks. But the Southern Cross looks to be a feint as 2 of the defenders of BossFight are going to try to make rooftop. Early frag coming out towards Captain Soda's position, but he wasn't quite as aggressive as the last round, and they do not pick him up. He'll be throwing a smoke out into that position. Shots coming out from Legill towards Mr. Beefy's, and the call-out's coming out as well. Seeing a little bit of a standoff here on the rooftop. Not surprising, Landon Jordan managing to pick up Scorpio in his defensive position on the south of the objective. Scooby meanwhile throwing a ton of bullets towards that position.
There's one at ambulance wall.
Sickness picks up Hoochie in that center courtyard objective. He's on the objective right now. Landon Jordan picks up Scooby as well. Sickness has got Tab out. This could be a cap here from SMC. Legill, however, able to get that amazing headshot and stop Sickness's cap. Landon and Pwnecake now picking up Weather Balloon at the same time. Legill, what a great position to pick up that kill and save the cap for BossFight as we get into a 1v4. Legill throwing a grenade out, but Pwnecake's lurking in the smoke behind him. Is he going to try to go for cap? Is he going to go for kills? Legill's in a battle with Landon Jordan back there. Legill able to catch Pwnecake with his tablet out and stop another cap. Downs Landon Jordan as well on the ambulance approach, and Legill is taking this very seriously. This defensive round is not going to go down without a fight, as Legill secures 2 different cap attempts and downs a member of SMC, leaving it a 1v2 in this 4th round. Holy moly, guys. Let's go for the first-person view. We got some grenades coming out towards that position, but none of them so far have landed. It's quite an aerial assault from SMC. Legill peeking, but caught by Captain Soda, and SMC do manage to take the round despite a very strong defense by Legill there. Very well played. I believe he was able to pick up 3? I think that's 3 kills for him on that round. A great defense, saving 2 caps, allowing SMC to stay in this fight 3-1 on this second map. What a great map this has been so far. As I said earlier, SMC's not one to take a beating like this lying down. BossFight is definitely going to have to earn this win. Now they're going to be heading into a Marsoc round, a little bit more difficult, and they're getting the Far East objective, Far East HQ objective. A very challenging objective to attack. Easy for the defense to get entrenched and watch very, very tight corridors. Always difficult to broach this one. Offense has to be very methodical and try to capture the outside areas of the map as they push in, as defenders can take up some very, very wide angles on this. And I'm curious to see if SMC takes this slow and watches those angles tightly and doesn't make a lot of rotations, or if they're going to take that same aggressive approach that we've been seeing so far, and a few members trying to capture some pretty aggressive spots on the map as we jump into now round 5 of map 2.
Nope. Well, you might be able to if they spawn back there, but I'm not going to risk it.
And they are calling out that they may have a difficult time crossing, but in this case, with our bird's eye view, we see that that is not the case, as the offense has the far west spawn, northwest spawn, though they will be crossing south primarily. Looks like at least 4 members are looking to make that cross. Defense so far a little bit tighter. I think that's what they wanted to see. We do have a member of Marsoc on the roof. I believe my map is missing a player. I apologize for that bug. There are definitely 5 offensive members playing currently, but one of them not showing up on that mini-map as they push that south side. And let's see the southern approach. Marsoc being very slow, very methodical, expecting SMC to be very aggressive here, which they definitely are not. Lagil taking some shots out, looks like towards the center area, but not able to catch anybody as nobody is currently peeking that. Scooby-Doo, however, in a great position to make some call-outs and some picks. I think he's in a ferocious gun battle with Sickness in that East HQ. Although it looks like for right now he's just taking random shots.
Yeah, just trying to do my best to be annoying.
Sickness is firing back. Scooby-Doo trying to lay down some a little bit of pepper on the defensive side, trying to keep them from easily staring down a particular lane. A very good tactic to use. Make sure that your offense has the best chance to move up. However, defense currently not aware of this far south push, although Landon, I think, will be seeing the members of Marsoc here pretty quickly as he rotates out to the far south hills. At least be able to catch one of them out.
I'll be watching the south side of glass. I'll peek it every now and then.
He's going to be watching that south side of glass, and we'll see if this offensive push is able to make anything happen here on the south side as well. We're seeing a member of Marsoc rotate far north. Curious to see if Motel will actually be able to catch him. And let's see, I believe that would be, yes, Captain Soda is watching a bit too aggressive of an angle. Could catch Scooby-Doo out here if he peeks at the right time, but Scooby decides that that approach is not for him. Meanwhile, Sickness picking up Hoochie on that ambulance side with a beautiful headshot at long range. Bunkcake rotating around, trying to cover both sides of center glass, based on his team's callouts, it would seem. Some callouts coming out, some more shots that don't seem to land. Gil now laying some fire down on that motel, but not able to catch anything. Pancake now aware of his position. We're in a 5v4. SMC Tactical is up. Their defense holding very strong here. Only 3 members of Marsoc showing on the map. There are 4, however. Weather Balloon and Scorpio both approaching on that south side. Pwnecake manages to pick up Scooby-Doo on that northern approach as he comes up towards the cement trucks. And that northern push is entirely shut down. Now it's all up to these three members of BossFight to try to take this offensive round against a fully up and fully aware SMC tactical defense. Frag coming out from the gill, well placed, but does not catch anybody in that position. Pwnecake now looking to make his push on the gill. Not able to catch him, but he's rotating around behind him, and he does manage to grab him as the gill is unaware of Pwncake's position at center glass. We're down to a 2v5. Weather Balloon managing to pick up Beefy, but Landon gets the quick refrag. Scorpio, however, picking up Landon on the re-refrag and gets his teammate up, and we're still in a 2v3. BossFight's not out of this round just yet. If they can manage to pick up Pwnecake, maybe utilize some equipment here. Pwncake's in a very aggressive position. Shots rang out. Scorpio peeking that. Managing to pick up Pwnecake with a headshot. We're into a 2v2. Sickness now watching that corridor.
1 minute.
Scorpio trying to get the peek. Both of them looking at the same time. Timing doesn't work out. Sickness looking for shots. He does manage to pick up Weather Balloon in the far back as he tries to rotate. Shots coming out from Scorpio towards Sickness's position. Do not land. Captain Soda now laying down some suppressing fire. Sickness rotating across the street trying to catch Scorpio. Scorpio now rotating out of that position, hoping to get a different, more advantageous angle. 30 seconds left in the round. He's got to make something happen here. This is where that slow, methodical play can sort of bite you a little bit. All the defense has to do is just stay alive. Stay alive. Scorpio might not know that Sickness is in this area. Sickness finally looking and catching Scorpio as he crosses the street. And give SMC Tactical the second round of that map. Now we're in a 3v2. BossFight going into a defensive round. Still have a chance to take this map, but so far SMC's put up quite a fight on both offense and defense. Not just going to give this up without some sort of a scuffle. And we'll be seeing round 5 here pretty soon. So far, some great plays on both sides. Very exciting match to watch. Glad everybody's able to tune in and hang out with me here on Onward Master League for this Season 6, I believe it's Week 10 challenge match between BossFight and SMC. Having lots of fun. Hope you guys are having fun as well as we look to get into the 6th round pretty soon. Let's take a quick look at the scoreboard before we jump into this next round. I believe we've got some points to assign here. SMC able to take that first map 4-2. Now we're 3-2 in quarantine. BossFight up as we get into our 6th round of quarantine. As BossFight look to close out this defense, close out the map, take it to a 1-1 series, and take us to our final map. Looks like the smokes are not with BossFight today, a few of them needing to be rethrown. We're going to see mirrored spawns from Marsoc as well. We'll see if the approach changes a little bit, and it does look like they're going to be aggressively pushing that north side rather than the southern approach that BossFight had decided to take. Captain Soda already grabbing the rooftop, looking to get intel on positions for his team. Might be able to catch Scorpio out if he peeks, but not a whole lot otherwise of purchase there. We're seeing a pretty heavy Marsoc push here into the center courtyard as well. Sickness and Pwnecake pushing up very aggressively at center glass. capturing a lot of the ground that BossFight has left open to them. See smoke coming out from Sickness, looking to cover their approach. Hoochie now rotating into that window of the motel, alerted by the smoke. We're seeing SMC start to create their classic half moon shape offense as they push around towards the objective. Try to clear every area. Sickness now being quite aggressive, pushing up into this glass area, looking to see if he can get a pick on anybody in the eastern courtyard. So far, nothing doing there. Scooby might be able to catch Sickness in his position out here. And he does! Great headshot by Scooby on Sickness as he pushed up a little aggressively and without smoke or cover. SMC's down a member. We're in a 5v4 now. Shots coming out towards the smoke. Scorpio managed to pick up Captain Soda on that northern approach. Just like that, we're in a 5v3. Frags coming out. Not able to catch anybody. Pushing up. Pwnecake still waiting for his team to set up, I believe. And we're seeing the northern push from SMC stall out a little bit after seeing their team member go down as they pushed up to the center, to the cement trucks.
I think there's the guy inside of hotel.
Interesting to see what SMC is going to do here to try to salvage this round. So far, BossFight's defense equally as unforgiving as the SMC defense of the last round, but as we saw, it got pretty close. It got pretty close, and I think it could still be an SMC round. Pwnecake throwing out a great smoke, blocking Hoochie's view, but Landon and Mr. Beefy coming up this hill over here are exactly in his sightlines. Landon managing to pick up the Gillett center glass.
One down behind glass.
A grenade coming out from Hoochie. Able to catch Beefy and Landon on that hill. What a beautiful grenade by Hoochie. And we're down to a 4v1. Member of Pwnecake is the only, or the member of SMC is Pwnecake, and he's the only one left for the offense. Not likely to be able to get those revives, but if he can stay in this fight. It's not likely that Hoochie knows he got those downs, unless he heard the screams from that distance, which I don't believe you can. It's a little too far. Pwnecake now looking in that direction. He knows the frag came out over there. His teammate should have let him know that it was from the motel. Pwnecake taking a very low and slow approach here, trying to get these peaks. Laying prone like this is definitely challenging. Definitely not an easy thing to do. Maybe he'll be able to catch Hoochie here as he rotates through that window, but no, he's not able to see him. Hoochie taking shots on Pwnecake, finally managing to finish off the last remaining member of SMC and take that round and that map for BossFight. Great playing by both teams there. And we're going to see a tied score here. We're going to see Cargo going to SMC 4-2, BossFight taking Quarantine 4-2, and we're in a 6-6 score total for maps as we go into the final map. And that final map is going to be, drum roll please, Bazaar. And let's take a look while the teams get set up at what Bazaar has to offer. right. That is Bazaar, ladies and gentlemen. Looking to see if we can get some action going here pretty soon. Actually, excuse my transition there. Not entirely set up. Not ready for you guys to see. As we get into this third map, the deciding map of this series. We're going to be seeing BossFight on defense, defending this center kiosk objective. Meanwhile, SMC on offense getting that southwest objective. And we'll see how BossFight is able to hold this first defensive round. After a great showing on Quarantine, they've got the momentum going into this map. Some early shots coming out already as Marsoc is coming through that front Bazaar opening. Smoke coming out towards Hoochie from Scooby. Looks like he's trying to provide him some cover as Marsoc comes through that southwest area. Smoke's coming out from the Marsoc side as well as the frag. Doesn't manage to catch anybody. I believe that was Hoochie's frag. Sickness and Scooby both very low in this Bazaar. Both looking to get a pick on each other. Sickness able to be quicker on the draw, picking up Scooby in that center Bazaar, making the call out for his team, and we're in a 5v4. Marsoc is slowly moving in on this Bazaar area. SMC looking to get those quick picks. Hoochie is entirely surrounded in his position. Mr. Beefy throwing a bit of a lemon grenade. Weather Balloon manages to pick up Sickness, however. As he comes through that Bazaar, Hoochie able to pick up Captain Soda as well. And we're into a 4v3 with BossFight up on the first round. We're seeing Landon coming through here. Looking to get that pick on Weather Balloon. It seems like he knows he's in that position and is just waiting for him to make a mistake. Meanwhile, the other members of BossFight taking their positions very seriously, not rotating, not doing anything too aggressive. Mr. Beefy looking to catch Hoochie out as he peeks. A little bit too late on the shots there. Landon Jordan with a team kill, however, coming out on Pone Cake, taking SMC down to just 2 members. Hoochie rotating to try to capitalize on that mistake, and Landon punishes him for it. Hoochie goes down as well. That's a 2v3. SMC down 1 member. Landon Jordan very close to the objective at this point. Looking to try to catch a rotation out from BossFight. As if with a sixth sense, able to catch Weather Balloon as he crosses out. Scorpio, however, able to capitalize on that. And just like that, we're in a 2v1 as Scorpio rotates out and picks up Landon on the approach. Mr. Beefy, however, finds the kill in the far north. As he rotates out, we're in a 1v1. Scorpio rotating back to the objective, looking to make sure there is no cap coming out on this. And I didn't do this earlier. Round 1 of map 3. Mr. Beefy's got just about 3 minutes here to make something happen. There's no reason necessarily to rush. Definitely has a lot of opportunity to make it in unnoticed. Bazaar is a very complicated map. A lot of cover, a lot of different angles to make your way into this objective from. And it looks like he will be trying to change up his position a little bit, although I don't believe Scorpio is aware of Beefy's position. Very, very slow approach from Mr. Beefy here. He tries to make his way in towards the objective. Scorpio, meanwhile, like a chicken with his head cut off, sprinting around, making sure no one's capping. It's the right play to do. It just looks a little funny when you're looking at it through casting. Now pushed up a little bit more aggressively onto that very common position under the fountain, looking towards the objective. Beefy, however, choosing to find a different approach to the objective. Checking to see if this eastern courtyard is clear or not. He pushes up into the bazaar. Let's follow him as he approaches this objective. Scorpio just patiently now waiting for someone to approach the objective. Beefy might not be aware, although it is a relatively common spot for the final defender to take up. Might not be aware of Scorpio's position. And it seems as though, yes, he is going to be pushing up just past it. Scorpio likely in a bit of an advantageous position here. Beefy rotates in towards key out objective. And Scorpio catches him as soon as he approaches the objective. Great defense by Scorpio to give that round to BossFight on this third map. Great round from BossFight there, able to defend that objective very well. Looks like they did lose a member sometime during that round, and at the very least it wasn't the member who was on defense. That would have been quite unfortunate. But yeah, BossFight able to take a very strong defensive round there. SMC is going to look to answer back here by shutting down BossFight as well. I think I'm anticipating a pretty close match between these two teams on this final map. Bazaar always does lend itself to that sort of balanced tactical gameplay on both sides, no matter what your approach usually is. There's a very difficult map to traverse, and there's a lot of different advantageous positions for both sides, so I think we'll be seeing a lot of interesting action here whenever we get into the second round of this third map. And we are going to be seeing the same objective. Like I said, we are playing on build 1.4, so we are not seeing repeat objectives any longer. A lot of the league teams are happy about that change. And we are going to see SMC this time on defense. Let's take a quick look at the scores. BossFight able to pick up that last round in the first, first round of the third map there. SMC taking Cargo, the first map, 4-2. BossFight taking the second map, Quarantine, 4-2 as a response, tying up the series and the score, and taking us into this third round pretty soon. I think we're just still waiting on a member of BossFight to make his way back into the game, and as I say that, he does make it back in, and the round is underway, and that round is round 2, map 3. BossFight up in his final map.
You just don't lose soda. Usually Landon's coming back to the... No. Where do you normally go east?
We're going to be seeing the southeast objective. Here, let's head over the Marsoc side as they approach on this eastern side. Be a very heavy push on this east side from members of Marsoc. Scorpio quickly picking up Captain Soda on that eastern approach. Landon looking to pick up a cross on the street, though he's not going to be able to find it as one of his team members already has gone down. Scorpio and Weather Balloon now approaching very quickly. Landon is, however, able to rotate and pick up Weather Balloon as he comes through that corridor. Mr. Beefy picking up Scooby as well. And we're into a 4v3 with a revive available on the BossFight side. LeGill managing to take out Landon as Scorpio lays down some suppressing fire. LeGill's position is very far in the north, and a great pickup for him. Meanwhile, Mr. Beefy able to pick somebody up On that southern approach, Pancake and Legill trade. Legill is still revivable.
I'm down, but I traded. Come to the...
And we're going to see Mr. Beefy and Sickness, the last two, looking to defend this objective. They're rotating back into more safe positions, I would say. Sickness taking up that same position that Scorpio had in the last round. Mr. Beefy, meanwhile, watching the north. And it looks like we're going to see a member of MARSOC trying to go get that revive. That would be Scorpio coming through to get the revive for the MARSOC team. Get that member back into the fight. There's actually 2 downs. Oh, there's a down. Oh, there's a down on the south side here as well. Scooby was tagged out behind white car. We're in a 2v2 with the revive available. Scorpio, I think, looking to rotate. Yeah, I think he's looking to rotate and get this revive on Scooby as well. Talk about traveling, team medic here. Yeah.
Enemy on objective, on objective.
He does
He moved,
pick up
to the
Scooby,
left.
and we're in a 3v2 just like that. Revives are very important.
Panic smoke going out.
Smoke's coming out from the offensive side. Not quite where you would want them there, but enough to cause a little bit of a stir on the defense. Scooby looking to catch somebody rotating, and he might be able to catch out Beefy here. He's behind the wall, and Scooby's not able to pick him up there. Let's see a little bit more equipment usage from the BossFight side to try to make this approach. Looks like they've thrown out what they need to throw out, and they will be coming around primarily on this northeast side, as Scorpio and Legill are watching very intently to try to make this approach on the north. All the members of BossFight now rotating around, abandoning that south approach on the objective and trying to make their way in through the north. A very good tactic, in my opinion. I like approaching this from the northern side. There's a lot more avenues for cover. It's a little bit simpler to try to get the cap if you can sneak in that backside. But Mr. Beefy, definitely keeping an eye on that. He's not going to be caught unawares. Good smoke coming out there. Not a very good smoke coming out from Legill, as the second Scorpio will move to reposition it. Scooby-Doo changing his approach, coming through that east side courtyard. Legill pre-firing through the wood, not able to catch Beefy as he's on the other side of the wall. Scorpio, however, rotating around behind Mr. Beefy. Mr. Beefy able to pick up Legill as he pushes up through that northeast flank. Scooby, however, moving up towards the objective. Able to pick up Mr. Beefy as he comes through. Sickness, the last defender available, managing to pick up Scooby as he goes for the cap, and we're down to a 1v1 as Scorpio and Sickness battle it out for this second round in map 3. Scorpio manages to pick up Sickness with a very sneaky headshot in that defensive position, likely because he was using that defensive position just the round before, and gives that round as well to BossFight. What a great approach from BossFight that was. At some point, they were down to just one member alive. He was able to rotate into 2 entirely different positions on the map and revive his 2 teammates and bring them back into the fight, taking it from a 1v2 to a 3v2 and securing that round for BossFight as well. As we look at the scoreboard here, you can tell Scorpio definitely putting in the work for his team on this final map. He's got 4 kills, 2 revives for his team just in that last round. Meanwhile, Beefy, Landon, and Sickness holding it down for the SMC side. 3 kills and 2 for the last 2 respectively. Not too bad. Not too bad of a round. And we are going to be seeing the center blue room objective for this upcoming 3rd round. This is a very fun objective to play. Very difficult objective to capture. and I'm excited to see what the teams bring out here as we go into round 3. Oh, not quite yet. Almost round 3 of map 2. There we go, and now we're ready to jump into this third round. Boss Fight up 2 points in the final map of the series, the deciding map of the series, in this match between SMC and Boss Fight. Defense looking to set up very tight here. We're going to see a far northeast spawn for the Marsoc teams. We're going to see a pretty heavy easternly push here from Marsoc. Early shots coming out. Equipment utilization from Marsoc, looking to cross this eastern street. Sickness, Landon, and Soda already making their way across. Great smoke wall by the offense. Shots coming out from Ponecake towards the objective. None find purchase. Sickness pushing up extremely aggressively through the smoke. Finding a lot of purchase here. Hoping to catch Weather Balloon. In that blue room objective, some smoke's coming out. Try to cover his approach. McGill unaware that Sickness is coming through that courtyard. Smoke's getting thrown out from the defense side. Denying the cover, Mr. Beefy able to pick up Scooby on that rotation, however. And we're up to a 5v4, Weather Balloon rotating out. Sickness not able to catch him, but he does catch him as he rotates back. McGill grabs him from the blue room, however. And Captain Soda grabs Hoochie in the back. Bringing us to a 4v3. McGill picking up Ponecake as he pushes the blue room. On that backside, Scorpio manages to catch Captain Soda. In just a few seconds, we're down to a 2v2. Mr. Beefy catches the gill as he rotates back to watch the objective and try to get that res on Hoochie. That's not going to come out. Now we're in a 2v1. Scorpio the only one left alive. Scorpio making the same rotation. Beefy able to catch him out. And SMC take that third round of map 3 for the win. SMC definitely not a team that you can count out despite what the score may tell you sometimes. Able to pick themselves up a quick offensive round. And now we're going to be seeing them set up on defense as we get into this fourth round. Take a quick look at the scores while we wait. And we've got Boss Fight with 2 and SMC with 1 on this third map of the series. Very well played by both teams. If you're just tuning in, this is the third map of the SMC Tactical Boss Fight Challenge match here on Onward Master League. Currently the series is tied at 1-1. SMC taking the cargo first map 4-2. Boss Fight answering back quickly with a 4-2 win themselves on Quarantine the second map. And now we are in the third map. About to jump into the fourth round here in this match. And we are going to be seeing mirrored spawns.
I'll go blue room in fact.
Alright.
Fuck, I hope it's left spawn.
Let's
I'm
do
just
this,
gonna stay on
boys!
objective. I'm just gonna be on objective. Nothing aggressive.
You go
nothing
right, eh?
crazy. Yeah, go right. Hit yourself.
SMC, nothing crazy. They're going to be defending this objective very tightly. They want to be able to get themselves back into this series. Tie it back up and try to get this win out from underneath Boss Fight. Early shots coming out from Scooby's side do manage to catch somebody, but not for a kill. We're going to see... excuse me, that's not the person I wanted to look at. we are going to be seeing Fucci approaching very quickly from this west side. Mr. Beefy able to pick up LeGill as he approached in the Bazaar courtyard. Coming out from Bazaar. Marsoc offense is very aggressive right now. Let's see, I think Weather Balloon? Yes, Weather Balloon using his shield, distracting Mr. Beefy here. And distract him he does until he downs him.
Other one is down.
Not quite a finished kill, but he is able to down a member of the defense. Mr. Beefy now going to be able to make those call-outs for his team, let him know where the offense is. Grenade coming out from Scooby, looking to catch Mr. Beefy and finish him off, and finish him off he does. Great grenade from Scooby. We're into a 4v3. Grenade coming out from Cake, a little bit too high. Weather Balloon able to pick up LeGill in his position there on the east side. I think Captain Soda might be able to catch Hoochie here if he's not careful. And exactly what he does, picking him up as he tries to come out of that kill room and move up onto objective.
Yep, over here, west side.
Captain Soda laying down some fire towards that Marsoc cross. Not able to catch him. Scooby, however, returning the fire. Not able to catch Captain Soda as he rotates back out. But now his position is very well known to the rest of the Marsoc players as they approach. So as you can see here, we are missing one member of BossFight on the map still. I believe that member, yes, is Scooby in the center Bazaar. But the offense is still pretty spread out. Captain Soda looking to rotate out and capture somebody coming through this west courtyard. If Scorpio can manage to come around the corner fast and grab him, and he does. Captain Soda goes down in the west courtyard. Scorpio taking this to a 4v2. Pwnecake now rotating into the blue room objective. Sickness watching from the objective room. Shots coming out toward his position. Not sure who that was. Sickness staying tucked in. Not giving up any real estate there. Weather Balloon now on the approach. Pwnecake manages to catch Weather Balloon over the shield. Great play by Pwnecake. Now we're in a 2v3. We're going to be seeing a pretty long rotation by Scorpio through the back of the map. Thickness and Pwnecake sort of sandwiching the objective between their two positions. Take a look. Wow, Sickness able to catch Scorpio far back on that rotation, all the way from the objective room. Great shot by Sickness. Not sure if he was aware that that was happening. LeGill, however, picks up Pwnecake, and now we're back down into a... I think it's a 1v1, unless I'm not seeing something on the map. Oops, sorry about that. Now LeGill and Sickness, believe by themselves. No? Nope, Scooby is still alive. Scooby is still alive, you guys. It's a 2v1. So Sickness by himself looking to defend this objective. LeGill on the approach here. Sickness has got to stay quiet. If LeGill doesn't know where he is, he'll be able to catch him. They both approach the window. Sickness looking over, throws his gun up, able to catch LeGill as he comes out of the back of the doorway. Scooby, however, pushing very aggressively into the objective. Sickness definitely hearing him now. Scooby hears the shots, rotates around. Got a game of cat and mouse here. Scooby taking the tablet out for a camp. Sickness might not be aware. BossFight could take the round here, you guys. Sickness throwing out a frag, but it might not be good enough. Sickness taking shots out towards Scooby, but Scooby able to grab the cap. And the round goes to BossFight as well as the series. Holy moly. What a series that is. Scooby with a very sneaky cap there, managing to close out the series against SMC, going up 4-1. Wow, what an end to that series that was. As we take a look at the final scores here, SMC started off very strong on Cargo, 4-2. They started that round off, the first round of that map off with a cap, which led them to a 4-2 victory. BossFight came alive, however, in quarantine, managing to take that map 4-2. And as we just saw, Scooby with an amazing sneak cap on Sickness, I believe it was, to seal the round and the map and the series for BossFight in that final map. What a match that was. Okay, well, such a fun map to watch. Lots of great plays by all of the members of both teams. I think we had a lot of good clips in there. And that last cap, I think, is going to be shared for a little while. Very reminiscent of some of the wildcard tournament and the world final caps we saw last season. Great play by Scooby there. Great awareness. Able to get that cap in right underneath the defender's nose and take that series. So now SMC and BossFight are in a 1v1. Score 1-1 for total challenges played. Hopefully we'll be seeing a third deciding challenge come out maybe towards the end of the season. Hint, hint. But yeah, I think that's going to do it for me here on Onward Master League this fine Saturday morning. My name is Noman. I've been your caster today. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. If you guys are interested in the Onward League or the game itself, I believe we are having a free weekend this weekend. So come check the game out, download it, try it out, jump in, play with your friends, play with us. There is a Discord and a Twitch and a Twitter link that you can see down in the bottom left. Please come hang out with us. It's a lot of fun. And we always enjoy doing these things for you guys. Tune in later today. I believe we've got a couple of casts coming up in just a few hours. But tune in for those and look on the Master League Discord for that information. And I believe that is going to be it for me. I will be signing off. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. And I will catch you guys later.